the thought that everybody is able to make something that plays part in this, in the videos and that. When I first started doing them, the situation was that I would do a video. I would start and tell whatever it was I was going to talk about. I'd find something to boost a little bit of enthusiasm, if you like, make people a bit more optimistic. And then when I started getting the questions and the in, that was something really special to me. Hello, Poshbird in New York City. Lovely to see you here. What's it like over there today? It's freezing in the UK, and hopefully it's a bit better there at the moment. With this thing, I would like it to be a bit more community based, in as much as I would like to be able to chat with you on a more normal basis than when I'm doing a video. I think it's much nicer to speak to each other via the chat room, obviously, and I can be much more sunny but not too cold yet. Happy Thanksgiving. That's for tomorrow for you guys over there, isn't it? I just hope you're going to have a great day. It's a special day in America, I know. We don't do anything like that here, you know, and I think it's such a shame, because I'm a big family kind of person. I like everybody getting together. It's really nice when that happens. And for us, it's really just Christmas. We don't have a day like Thanksgiving, which is more of a shame. And I've got to be honest. Hello, Tadul from Illinois. We're just talking about Thanksgiving, and I hope that you're all going to have a great one. Because for me, we don't kind of, as I said, other than Christmas, that's it for us. And we don't tend to get together as much as you should. Good afternoon to you as well. As I was saying, let's get back to this. Do you want me to pick a subject to talk about each week? Or would you prefer to have the kind of chat that we can hear and like we did last week? Oh, apple pie. Don't tempt me. Have you seen the stomach of mine? It's certainly not washable. I love my food far too much. Yeah, I think I'd like for me to be able to get to know you better, because on the videos, I don't really get that much chance. And here we can interact like that, if you like. And so the beauty of the videos for me was discovering this community. I really liked having this community. And some of the messages that I've got in the comments from the videos have been heartrending and humbling, to be honest with you. Really humbling to be able to hear your thoughts, find out what you're thinking, and sharing them with you. That is brilliant. But on here, I would kind of like it so that I can chat to you there. And the reason I'm saying chat to you there and not to you there is because when I'm looking over there, that is where I can see all of the things that are being comments. Hello, Sharon. How are you? Nice to see you again. What's it like over where you are? It's mighty cold here. So that's what I want to know. Put it in the box. Would you rather we built this community? Because one of the big things I talk about in videos a lot, and I'm sure if you've seen enough of them, you will have heard me talk about the tribe. And one of the things I want to do is to get to know you better, which means that I can perhaps help more than I do at the minute. That I can share things that are more relatable to you than what you're hearing now. And it'd be great to also know the kinds of things you want me to talk about. Because at the minute, I kind of go with idea of the day, if you like. I never really know what I'm going to be talking about until I start doing the videos. I kind of find 4 or 5 subjects that I think might be possible. And then I get on and make videos. But if I have a better idea of what you'd like me to talk about, then that's going to be great for me. What else have you got on your mind? That's what I want to know. What have you got on your mind? What sort of things would you like to talk about today? There's a few of you in the chat room, and let's talk about why, for a moment, I'm doing these live streams. First of all, I talked about it in a video recently about getting out of my comfort zone. That was one of the reasons I wanted to do this. And getting out of the comfort zone has been quite hard. It's not something that any of us likes to do. And yet I thought I'd do this, and I think it'd be great just to talk about different things to what I do in the videos. Sharon's just said she likes hearing about my life experiences. Well, being my age, I've had a few of them. And I kind of think that I've made enough mistakes in my life to have enough stories to tell that'll go in that sort of realm where don't do what I did. I've got the experience of doing enough things wrong now to be able to help someone and save them doing it, because that's the kind of things that's always gone on. Have you, or rather, do you read? Do you read a lot of books? In our family, we do. I kind of have 3 books on the go at a time. I have one in my bedroom by my bed. That's for my session. I have one downstairs in the living room, and in my office I've got plenty. So that I'm always reading something. And one of the things that has helped me along the road is that years back, I started reading self-help books. And it came to me, we can mix it up and put a poll on a subject. That's a good idea. I think I'll have a think on that this week, and we'll see about doing a poll. As I was saying, years ago, I came across this book. I don't know if you can see it, The Magic of Thinking Big. At the time, I was looking to try and move ahead. I was 29, 30, something like that. And I was trying to move ahead. And I found that book, and I started to read that kind of book. Up until then, I was very much a crime novel sort of person. Books that I like now are by people like David Baldacci and Lee Child, and they're those action kind of books, I suppose. But the funny thing about it is that I'm not an action book kind of person, because I don't watch those kinds of films. I'm much more of a story telly watcher, if you like. And with books, I kind of found my way into reading autobiographies, biographies, and then, as I said, self-help books. And a lot of the things that I've learned and I talk about came from this range of self-help books that I've bought over the years. And I can remember somebody saying this to me a long, long time ago, that all the self-help books are just rah-rah stuff, trying to boost you up and get you going for a moment. And to a certain extent, that's true. However, I'm pretty sure that across the years, the books that I've read have helped me to become a better person than I would have been. And if I doubt that, I only have to look back and see the kind of character that I was before I started to read those. Mystery books. Are you an Agatha Christie reader? Agatha Christie, my mum used to love all those kinds of books. I think reading, it strikes me as something really odd. There's a lot of people that don't read. I've got a friend who I don't think has ever picked a book up since he left school. And I don't understand it, because I don't see the point in learning to read if you're not going to read. I think books are a great way to pass time, certainly better than sitting in front of the telly and watching it just for the sake of watching it, which I have to say, now and again I've done. There is with books, I find that biographies and autobiographies are probably the favourites of mine, because what I like to find out is how the struggles someone went through to get where they got. And watching me on here, reading is good for your brain. My brain doesn't seem to work as well when I'm on here. I'm still really nervous. It's very funny that doing this. I did last week's one and was like, "Oh, this is working well," and now I'm all nervous again. Yeah, reading is good for the brain. I think it uses different parts of the brain from just watching telly, I suppose. And for me, I'm not an audiobook kind of person. That doesn't work for me. I lose track very quickly. I've tried Kindles. Kindles don't work for me either. I like a book. As you can tell, this one that I've just picked up is well worn. It's been read a lot. With me as well, I don't know if you can see this, I highlight pages in books. If I see something that I like and makes anything to me, I tend to read it. Hi, Paul. How are you? Good to see you. I find, am I the only one who loves the smell of a book? That's another thing. I got all excited when the Kindle came out, when they said that you could hold loads of books inside this little tablet thing. And I really got out of it quite quickly, because I like to turn a page. I don't know about you. Are you like me? Turn a page, read it, move on to the next one. I end up scribbling things in them as well. My books are no good to anybody else once I've had them. I can't sort of hand them on to someone, because I end up keeping them and just going back to them. I think when you highlight a book, if there are important parts, especially in the types of books that I read, they're very easy to go back and flick through and read the highlight instead of having to read the whole thing. So that's one of the reasons why I kind of like a book. I've got some questions being asked. I did put a thing out on one of those community posts the other day, and a few people who asked questions. Kindles are good for on holiday. That's when they're useful, so you don't fill up the case. That's what I find them useful. Yeah, I've had some questions. I asked if anyone wanted to ask me any questions. Geekvolution asked me, what is one way the world has changed since you were younger that you're grateful is different now? And for me, I've got to say it's the internet. The internet coming has expanded my world totally. Who would have thought all those years ago that I would talk to a phone? Now that was unusual as well. Talking to a phone and be able to talk to someone the other side of the world. I can remember when my dad made a phone call when I was about 13 or 14 to someone in another country, and the rigmarole it took to get through to talk to them. And it was a fortune as well, cost a fortune. Now you can WhatsApp anyone anyway, can't you? And I love that. I love that about the internet. I love the fact that I built a career in radio thanks to the internet. I love the fact that I wouldn't be doing YouTube were it not for the internet. There's a lot of stuff about the internet I hate. There's a lot of misinformation gets shared about. There's a lot of trolling. There's a lots of things that I actually don't like too much about the internet. But I love the fact that it's enabled us all to do a lot more than we could have done. It gave me 9 years of a radio career that I'd wanted to do since I was 16, but never would have been able to do had it not been for the internet. So the internet is one of the things that I'm really grateful for that I'd have liked years ago. And he also asked, what's one way things have changed that you wished would have stayed the same? And I think that's the naivety of childhood. And that's down to the internet as well, I think. I think when I was young, we just looked to go out and play, climb trees, do all that sort of thing. Now, children at 5, 6, and 7 are way in front of where I was. And I think a lot of that has made them grow up too quick. So I kind of wish that that wasn't happening. I look back and think that when I was, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, we were able to go out, play in the streets even. You can't do that today because obviously there's more traffic than there ever was then. But we'd play football for hours. We'd play until it got dark. And when the street light came on, I knew it was time to go home. We had lots of things then that we could do that we can't do now. Because in this day and age as well, I don't know. Let me ask you this question. We fear for our children out now because of the people that are about now. But I wonder whether the people were all about doing the same things that they do now that we're frightened to let our kids go out for. Have they always been there, except for now that because of the internet, we know about it more? I think it's a scary thing. I'm glad I haven't got children that are small now, because mine was still kids when it was, I think it was safer to let them out. I don't know if they're a scaredy cat, to be honest. But I'd like to see children as children for as long as they can be. And I think that's gone now. I think, especially now at this day and age, that we're giving kids computers in their pockets with a phone. That we didn't have that kind of thing. And so there's that to it as well. I think children grow up far too quickly these days. I'd like them to have a longer childhood. And I suppose that's my answer to that. And Janet Roberts asked, what do I like to do in my free time? Well, I've already said I like a book. I like a book. I'm a bit of a film buff. I love films, but I kind of like films from way back in time. I'm a nostalgic kind of person, and so I love old films. My mum, I can remember when I was growing up, we used to sit and watch telly and films as a family at Christmas. And for a long time, I was my dad's remote control. I know we've all got them these days, but I was my dad's remote control back when I was a kid. But we'd sit as a family and we used to watch lots and lots of films. I can remember as a youngster loving the Marx Brothers films. Harpo was almost my favourite for some reason. And we liked those. I loved the musicals of the 40s and 50s. I loved them. I still do. And over the years, I have a collection of about or around 800 DVDs. I've got a few Blu-rays, not that many, but loads of DVDs of old films. I do like to sit down and watch a film. And apart from watching the film and reading, I like going out. Me and Debs go out. I like being at the coast. I said it last week that I was born on the coast and I kind of like the coast. From where we live now, we're about an hour and a half away from a seaside town. There's quite a few within 2 hours from here. So we kind of, when the weather's nice in the summer, we'll head for the coast and spend a day walking along beaches and walking around town and looking out at the view. I love it. And so that's the kind of thing that we tend to do. What else have I got we can talk about? Do you remember in a video about a month ago, I talked about trying to develop this channel and getting it to a stage where I'll be able to earn a living from it when I'm a pensioner? Well, since that's happened, on the 28th of October, that's the day I did the video. And when I did that video, I had 4,228 subscribers. And today, looking up at it, it says that I have 4,318 subscribers. So I've got 90 more subscribers than we did have. But I can also tell you that during the course of the last month, I've lost 61 subscribers. So I must be really boring to some people because they've had enough of me. So that's all I've got for you for the moment, unless anybody has some questions they'd like me to answer. It looks like a little quick live session. I'd like to know whether you would like me to do more of these. I'd like to know what you kind of want to talk about. The chat room is not that hectic today, I have to say, guys. You were much busier than last week. So I'd like to hear from you as to what you think we should be talking about. And you've got to walk the dog. Don't blame you. I hope it's nice enough and warm enough out there for you. So yes, I really need you guys to let me know what you think we should be doing, because I want to make Wednesday afternoon a day for us to get together and have a chat. By the way, a waffle. And I know in America, a lot of you eat waffles. Here we don't quite mean exactly the same thing. We do eat waffles as well. I'm not saying we don't. But to waffle is just to have a trivial chat and a little get together, if you like. And that's the kind of thing I would like to be doing and aiming to be doing here. So you like pick a couple of topics. They don't have to be serious all the time. Okay, that's good for me. Dealer, how are you? Do I have any specific goals for 2025? Not particularly. I kind of don't have massive goals most of the time. I like to work my way along. I'm not a needy person, if you like. Big cars don't interest me in the slightest. I'm not someone who wants the finer things in life. I'm kind of happy with what I've got in life. I enjoy the things that I've got. I know that Deb says to me every birthday and Christmas, "What do you want?" And I've never had a clue. I've never had a clue as to what I've wanted. So, goal wise, my goal at the moment, in regard, let's use YouTube as a something to use as a goal. Like I said earlier, I would like, by the time I collect my pension, to have built my YouTube channel big enough so that it helps the difference in money that we're going to have then. Because when we drop from work situation to being retired in this country, you live on, I suppose, 2/3 of what you normally did. Wow, thank you so much. Just to say thanks for the videos. Wonderful day as a millennial. I appreciate your videos on music and movies. Well, we could do those as well, Birdman. Thank you so much for that. It's very kind of you. $75, guys. Woohoo! And that goes in exactly with what I was just saying, that down the road, I would like to be able to put myself in a position where we can afford to live as comfortably as we do now, but on 2/3 of the money that we would get from a pension, so that I could kind of make up the difference. That would be a nice goal. But more than money, that's only one of the things that has recently come to me. As you know, I like to kind of help people with these videos. It's a joy to be able to share stuff with people, and it's humbling when someone writes to me and says, "Thank you so much, that's really helped me out today." Anything like that is wonderful. It does my ego wonders, to be honest with you, but it's humbling at the same time. And if I could do anything, it would be, I would like to be able to not only build this channel for the money, that'd be cool, but nice to be able to help more people. It would be nice to be able to think that what I've got to say, what I'm putting an effort into, is of value to somebody else. I think that's kind of the way. Personal sort of things. I'd like to see my sons more. It's not that they live a long way away. They live 200 mile away from me. And that's not a problem because it's probably a 4-hour drive from here. But where we get the problem is my two boys live in the same town, but they both work completely different hours. I've got one son works from about 8 o'clock in the morning till 5, and my other son works from 5 through to 11 at night. So when we go down there, we kind of have to go down there 3 or 4 days to get to see the boys for any amount of time. So that would be something that would be really good, is to see more of them, if you like. Poshbird, what have you said there? Maybe pick a movie or a book and talk about the themes. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. I kind of like that, because I like a film that tells a story. I don't like the Marvel films. I'm not that kind of person. Where films are regarded, I like a story. I like things. I love The Color Purple. I love The Help. I love rom-coms. I don't know why I'm telling this. I love rom-coms. It's an. I'm not. It's not very manly, I must admit. Yeah, I love rom-coms. I'm everything you wouldn't expect from a manly man. I kind of like a story film, and I love films. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Cinema Paradiso is just a wonderful movie, and as along with that is another Italian film called Il Postino. Great films, great stories in, and yeah, I'll talk about them. Happily talk about that. Movie or a book I'll talk about. I'm sorry, I'm just reading, trying to. Really, Tedo, thank you for saying that. I don't see any point in not being genuine. I don't. I like the videos that I'm doing now because when I started this, and this is a point as to what you were saying there about genuine. When I started my channel last year, I looked at all the tutorials and they told me that you need to do edits to keep people interested. People wouldn't be interested if you didn't do chop after chop after chop and keep editing your film so there was something happening all the time. And so that's what I did, but I never really liked it. I never felt me. And then halfway through this year, I decided that I was going to stop doing that because I never felt authentic. Let's get it right. And now I feel as though I can be authentic in what I'm doing. I know I'm not flashy with the edits and you're sitting and you're just looking at this. You're just looking at me chatting away to you. But I kind of think that the authentic me is much better than the one that had to be cut every 2 seconds and you'd have 9,000 cuts in a video and it'd be jumping here, all there and there. At least I can say what I think now and say it in such a way as I would normally. What I wanted my videos to be was as though you and I were in a cafe or in a bar or something, and you're sitting opposite me. And so I talk to you as though I would then. I found that doing the videos for a long time, I didn't feel like that. And when I talked to my sons about it, they said to me that in my earlier videos, I didn't seem like me. And so I made a change to do the videos the way that I do them now. And it did affect my viewership. Lots of people left. They don't like the kind of stuff that I do. But that's okay. Because, like I say over and over again in the videos, your tribe is more important. Getting those people that support you. Because if I want you, coming back to the videos, I'd like to be able to do value for you so that you're getting something out of this. Because it's a two-way street, really. I know that a lot of the things I talk about in my mind when I'm thinking about what I'm going to talk about, I think of my two sons and how I can help them. And I know that a lot of my viewers are around my age, some are older. But I have also got some younger ones. And so I kind of aim what I'm thinking to be helpful to them. And if it becomes helpful to everybody else, that's an even bigger bonus. And so I know I've lost drift again. This is what you call a Waffle Wednesday. I start off here and I just drift away and carry on talking about any else. So yeah, with regard to sort of the things that I talk about and being as genuine as I can. Dealer, I kind of wanted to do the live stream because I think you can get much more of an immediate feel. I do a video and I sit and wait for it to come out, and then I wait for comments and things. Here I can do something, we can be chatting like this, and I can look up here and you've written that 5 minutes ago or something. I know it's took me a while to get to it. But I like the fact that live, you can ask me something now and I can answer it now. And you have indeed provided a lot of value with your stories and advice. I'm grateful that you think I provided value. I really am. It's embarrassing. I don't know. I'll just say thank you. I don't profess to be a guru of any kind. Don't profess to have any sort of qualifications that entitle me to tell you this stuff. All I know is that I've been through enough stuff that I've made enough mistakes to know what not to do a lot of times. And so I think I can help out in that kind of way. And that's what my intention was when I started doing this. And that's what my intention will stay as. If there's anything that you feel I don't cover that I perhaps could, let me know. And if any of you people that are watching this on the replay have anything to say about the videos or anything that we've talked about so far, just leave a comment down in the comments and put replay fam next to it so I know that you weren't watching it the first time. I mean, you think with stories, I try not to tell too many stories because I have this thing where I think I'm talking about me all the time, and that's not what my intention is, just to talk about me and tell stories of my life. Although I'm quite happy to use a story if there's a point to it, and I can, by something that I've gone through, be able to, I don't know, tell you something that's got a message in there, I suppose. That's what I'm saying. So when I tell a story, it tends to be something that has something to back it up so that it gives you some value. Nancy, you like my accent. Well, thank you so much. I don't actually know what accent it is because I've travelled around this country quite a lot since I was a little boy. I was born on the East Coast in Essex, and my dad had amusement arcades, and we bought an amusement arcade in the southwest of England. And when you get there, they've all got a totally different accent to the one I was brought up on. And it's very much, all right, my boy, how are you? And I had one of those accents. And I lived down in that part of the country from when I was about 4 till when I was 16. So I kind of should have had a West Country accent. And I did have, because I remember when I was a kid, we had an arcade on the seafront. And I would have been, I don't know, maybe 5. And my dad made friends with someone who had donkeys on the beach. And he used to do donkey rides. And when I was a little boy, I used to help the man with the donkeys. I must have tormented him wicked for years because I loved the donkeys. And I'd go down and I'd go with him to the field in the morning to walk the donkeys down to the beach and that. And so we had family come to visit us. And my aunt watched me walking the donkeys down the jetty. And she said to me, James, be careful down there. You don't want to come off the side with the donkeys. And I looked round to her, and in my Somerset accent, I went, I know my job. And everyone used to take the mickey out of me. And I had this Somerset accent for all the time we were in Somerset. But it didn't kind of stick because we moved away from there. And my accent has turned into this. I don't know that it's sort of any part of the country. I just talk like I do, I suppose. the fact that you like it, Nancy, well, I'm quite chuffed, really. I would, yeah. If you're from the southern part of USA, yeah, we've got a friend who came from, I think I talked about this the other day as well. She came from North Carolina, and her accent, it was totally different to me. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? In America, it's vastly different because it's such a big country, isn't it? You have, I think, the UK where I live would fit into Texas about 6 or 7 times. We're just tiny, but it's amazing the amount of different accents you've got up and down the country here. And I would love to be able to do each one for you, but my wife tells me I'm rubbish at accents. Hello, the beast. How are you this fine day? I hope you're well. So I don't know about my accent, Nancy. It is what it is. I know a lot of people. We came to Florida a while back, and a lot of people in Florida asked me if I was Australian. So I don't kind of. I don't think I'm English. You like reading Cockney words? Yes, that's something that's going now, I'm afraid. When I was a kid, my dad used to travel around on fairgrounds in London, particularly the East End of London, which was where Cockneys come from. A Cockney is someone who's born within the sound of bow bells. And there was, everybody had a East London accent. And it was a strange thing because it's all changed now. There are no East Londoners from my day living there in East London now. They've all moved out to the outskirts. And so it's all changed. Yeah, Cockney rhyming slang was a massive thing at one stage. And if you've ever, have you ever seen the Pearly Kings and Queens of London? That was a massive thing. And the great thing about East London, where the Cockney words come from, was the community of it when I was little. And some of the nicest people I met. Do I smoke cigarettes? No, I've never smoked in my life. Never smoked. My mum did. My mum smoked, was one of those. Put it out. Another one on the go all the time. She smoked a lot, but I've never smoked. Never. I don't think. I may have tried one once, coughed my heart up, and decided never again. So yes, East London. I'm sorry I keep diving off. I keep seeing things there, and then I just feel I need to answer. East London was. I've just read that what you've written to Noel. Yeah, East London was a community like no other. My dad loved East London, and the people that lived in East London have kind of moved out to the Essex coast and Essex towns and that, and so there's still a group of people that I think of as Cockneys, but they no longer live where we think Cockneys should be from. The area now is very much an Indian Muslim area. It's not the same as it was, and I'm sad about that because what happens is, as the people move out and the Cockneys have gone away, they've gone to different places, and that is going to go. It's just going to go. And that's the end of another part of I don't want to say Britishness because it makes me feel, it sounds wrong, but it's certainly something that I grew up with is dwindling. Let's say that. It's dwindling. But it would be great if Cockney slang carried on. But I don't, it's really weird because once upon a time I used to hear it a lot. And now I rarely do, which is sad, really. But I'm sure as generations change, and I think this is the same for everyone, the language is changing. But our whole language, I think that if you go into different areas, different dialects and things have changed along the way as well. And so I don't think it's just Cockney. I think that all sorts change as people move out, and people from London moving into Essex, people from Essex will go to different jobs where once upon a time, if you were born in an area, you didn't travel far from it. I think a lot of that's gone, particularly in the UK, because people now go where the work is. So you could be where I am, in just outside Cambridge, and be driving 150 miles to somewhere like Sheffield or Liverpool, and it's a totally different accent there. Everything breaks down. People have different sayings that only come from that area, I suppose. And the more people move about, the more we become more transient as people, then you'll find that we tend to lose a bit of our uniqueness from the area we come from. Gigvolution, you're late. It's lovely to see you, but I've already answered your questions. So if you could check it out on the replay, that would be fantastic. Dealey, you're coming to the UK next week. Where are you going? London, Manchester, Sheffield, Newcastle, and Durham. Wow, you're getting about. Now, I've never been to Sheffield, I've never been to Newcastle, and I've never been to Durham. That is crazy, isn't it? And they're probably no more than 250 miles away from me. Manchester I've been to only a couple of times, though. London is not the London I knew. I've moved away. I haven't been into London for a few years now. You got 6 kids, Geekvolution. You legend, you. I had 2 boys. That was enough for me. The fact that you've got 6, I don't know how you do it. Kudos to you. That's all I can say. London. London is very, very different to what it was. It's got some of the greatest places. If you're doing a bit of tourist part, my very favourite piece of London is you've got the Houses of Parliament here. You've got the bridge going across the Thames, and the South Bank is just there. But if you stand on the corner, just on the very edge of the bridge, by Boudicca's statue, there's a gift shop there now that never used to be there. But if you stand there and you look to your right, there is the Houses of Parliament. And as you scan around, you look over the Thames, across to the other side. The London Eye is just there. And you've got the South Bank on the other side of the river. And to me, it's the best part of London. Because I stand there, and it's the one place in London that I feel excited totally about. You get there, and the view is stunning. If you're wondering why I keep playing with my ear, I've got hearing aids in, and they're not fitting properly, so I have to keep pushing them back. They're a new thing to me. But what parts of London are you going to? That's, I suppose, the best bit. There's so much of London that's nice to see. If you get the chance, within... Hi, Deb, how are you? We're just chatting about someone coming to London next week, and you've got to get and see all of the main things. If you get to walk through Hyde Park, it's beautiful. You're right in the centre of the city, and walking through London is lovely. Hyde Park, Green Park is just gorgeous. Walk along Whitehall, see the guards. You can walk past Downing Street. You can't go in. You can walk further down that road, and it's going to take you to Trafalgar Square. If you turn left, you can go down to Piccadilly Circus. There's a lot of places to go to. Primrose Hill is nice, yes. I'm obviously just doing the tourist parts, but if you get the chance, Buckingham Palace is splendid to look at, and you are surrounded by some lovely parks. No, you're right, it's not an English city anymore, but it's still a great city. So if you get the chance, do the tourist trip. Just get through it and see some of the Leicester Square. I just like when you walk through past Leicester Square, there's usually people doing lots of drawings and things, and they're great to see. I always went to London College. Yeah, Neil H, you're right. It is a great city, but sadly it has changed. You've lost a lot of what it had. It's not a city of Londoners like it used to be, and it's a sad thing. It's very multicultural, I think the word they like to use is, and it's not the great place that it was. It's still a great city, and I still hold a lot of affection for the city, but I can't say that I've had the urge to go back for 5 or 6 years now. Go somewhere else. York, I've never been to, but it is supposed to be stunning. Chester as well. There's some lovely shops and things in Chester, and the buildings themselves are gorgeous. There are a lot of great towns, to be honest with you, in the UK. So if you're getting about, take advantage of seeing them. I think you're going to find Durham is lovely. The thing with England and the UK, I suppose, it's a great country. I love my country, and I love the diversity in such a short area. Whereas in America, it's massive, and you've got so far to go to get across it. In the UK, if you've got a bit of time, then actually you can be up and down. From here to where my sons are is 200 miles. It's on the Dorset coast in a little town called Weymouth. And the views along there, they've got the Jurassic coast. It's beautiful. And so wherever you go around the country, there's something special in each of the places that you're going to go to. Any music, any more videos on physical media planned? Free the Taint. Hello, welcome to you. Yes, I can do. The reason I stopped more than anything was that I didn't want to be pigeonholed into someone who only did those kinds of videos. I know that what got me to monetization was my videos on streaming and why I stopped and why I still bought DVDs, and I was going to sell my records at one time, as I did some things about that, and those ones were more popular than what I do now. And I don't mean to say this by belittling those videos, because I love movies and I certainly love my music. But I kind of went this right the way I'm going now, because that's why I originally started the channel, to pass on advice and give enthusiasm to my sons. That's the only reason I came back to this. And for me, there was more value to it. And I'm not knocking music at all because of my love for it. But yes, I will be doing more. I think what stops me doing more music videos really is the fact that I can't play the music. If I could use the proper music, I think I would have done loads more music videos, because I love the fact that I have a real wide range of stuff that I like. With the video ones, I can get DVDs and things. I haven't done it so much lately, but I was at a stage where I was going out to car boot sales and buying uploads of DVDs, because I'm still building my collection even now, although I haven't talked about it lately. Perhaps I should do a video with what I've bought in the last few months, because I still buy those, and I do enjoy talking about them. Music is my first love, there's no doubt about that, and I love talking about music, but I kind of want to be able to play you bits of the things that I want to talk about. I've got up there loads of albums. The big cupboard there is full of records. Behind me over there, there's loads of records there too. And I do like talking about them. And I do occasionally put one on. Another reason that I don't do it is because of the algorithm. The big algorithm that they all talk about on YouTube. Yes, Deb, that's probably the best way for me to do it, is a music video once a month or something like that. For those who sub for that, yeah, I could do. That's probably the wisest thing to do, because in order to build a channel, we are told, or I've been told lots of time, that you need to keep into your niche, if you like. And my niche, for better or for worse, and the one that I've chosen, is advice and encouragement, mainly because I did the channel for my kids, and that's where I always tend to go. And so that's my main one. And every time I do music things, I pick up lots of subscribers. There's no doubt about it. My channel grows. If I did 2 or 3 DVDs and movies and music videos, my numbers would rise totally. I would imagine within 6 or 7 music videos, I could probably add 500 or 600 subscribers if I wanted to. However, what happens with that is that as soon as I've done that, the minute I go back to the things that I want to talk about more, I lose them all. And so you kind of got to have a balance. And what I don't want to do is to start another channel. And the reason I say that is because I try and get 3 things done on the channel per week. And that's really hard to do in the time that I've got to do it. And so I kind of have that main thing. But yeah, I can do a music video or a movie video or something, probably once a month. But at the same time, I also know that I will build subscribers and lose subscribers just as easily. I mean, I know by looking at stats, I've got one about when I stopped streaming. That is my best video view-wise, totally. And even now, week after week, it picks up subscribers. But what happens is when the subscribers don't see anything else like that being produced, they unsubscribe. As I said earlier in this live, I've lost 61 subscribers this month alone. And those are mostly people who've either got really bored with me, and I get that because I'm really boring. But if apart from that, if people don't find what they want on the channel all the time, they often leave, and that's the situation. So I've kind of found a groove. It's not the quickest growing. If I was building this channel for growth and I wanted to be getting on quickly and building it really quickly. Hi Kiara, how are you? Hope you're well. If I wanted to grow it quickly, I would talk about ways to build YouTube. I would talk about music and talk about videos. And that would be the way I could build this channel quicker and get higher. But I kind of hoped, and I still do, that people find the things that I talk about of value. And I would hope that the things that I talk about that aren't the sexy subjects, if you like, but I think they have worth. And I think that if I can get you thinking in a way that you can move on in your life, then that would be the way that I'd rather go. I'm sorry if I've missed a few of you on here. Let me just have a quick check. Do I listen to Led Zeppelin occasionally? I've got a few of their albums. I don't think I'm a heavy rock kind of person. I'm probably more into Pink Floyd than Led Zeppelin, but also, and here's where I sort of put hands up to it, I like Gilbert O'Sullivan too. I like all sorts of stuff all across the board. So what I listen to can vary depending on my mood. Views about Black Friday. Well, I can tell you my views on Black Friday now. If you want to do well on Black Friday, keep your money in your pocket. Because a lot of people tend to buy things they don't really need with money they don't generally have. Hello, Darren. How are you? Good to see you here. Few old faces. Sippy Cups Adventures of North Carolina and Coffee Walks and whatever have been supportive of this channel before I even did a video. I went into a group that's on Facebook to ask questions because I didn't know what I was doing on this. And as you can tell by watching this, I probably still don't. But Darren at Sippy Cups and Deb and OJ at Coffee Walks and whatever were so helpful when I wanted to get started. And they answered stupid questions when the truth is there's no stupid question. The only stupid question is when you don't ask. But they were brilliantly helpful in my early days on the channel. And I probably wouldn't have stuck with this were it not for those guys. So I'm kind of like that where they're concerned. Kay Hill, which one of the two are you today? Welcome to the thing. Have I watched Clarkson Farm? Yes, I did, and I loved it. I thought Clarkson Farm was brilliant. Gerald is my hero, and Caleb is excellent. Now, for those of you living in America who probably haven't seen it, Clarkson Farm is Jeremy Clarkson, a journalist who's more known for TV shows, but he has done. he bought a farm and he's put his adventures on his farm onto Amazon, I believe it is, and he has done marvels with it. To be honest, it's a great mistake that you could make as a farmer. So shifting along now, let's go. Stump family, hello, how are you? Thank you. It's very kind of you, Nick, to say that. I appreciate it. As I appreciate the support from any of you, to be honest. It's when I started this, I only thought I would be talking to my two sons. I never, in my wildest imagination, imagined a day like today where I'm on here talking to you guys. And so it's been a great thing for me to have you with me. Yes, where am I? What were we talking about? Clarkson's Farm is brilliant. It's an absolutely excellent program. I don't know if you get that on Prime in America. It's a great program. It's so funny, and yet it shows up how hard life is as a farmer in the UK, and that's something that's pretty relevant in this country at the moment. And I don't want to talk about that because I'm kind of not a political animal, and I try to avoid talking about politics because to me this is fun. But as for Clarkson's Farm, it is absolutely brilliant. It's a laugh a minute, mainly because Jeremy Clarkson is probably the world's worst farmer. You get it in Canada, it's on Prime. Well, you may get it in America as well. And it's a brilliant program. Yes, definitely. It's definitely in Canada then, because I can see people in Canada who've got it. Yeah, so it may well be in America as well, and it's well worthy of your time. If you've got Amazon Prime, it's a great series, really funny. I thought it's on Prime, Deb. I'm sure I've seen it on Prime, and the reason I say Prime is because I don't have Netflix. I did away with Netflix maybe 2 years ago, so I wouldn't have seen it if it was on Netflix. So Poshbird, thank you so much. Oh, I'm humbled. Thank you very much. It's really kind of you. Wow. I don't know what to say. Okay, what is there anything else you want to talk about while I'm here? We've been binge watching Black Sails. I haven't seen that, I'm afraid. I haven't seen it. I did away with Netflix mainly because, to be honest with you, buy some apples for my pie. Okay, I will do. I did away with Netflix because it seemed to keep feeding me the same kind of stuff over and over again. Some of you were wondering if I've been to Germany. No, I haven't. I haven't been to Germany. Do you know what? I talk about it. My two sons have been to Germany and loved it. I haven't been. I'm not the world's biggest globetrotter. I've been to America. I've been to Cyprus. I've been to Turkey. I've been to Spain a couple of times. But no, I'm not. Do you know what I mean? I'm not the big world traveller. So no, I haven't been to Germany. I wish I was. I wish my youngest son, has been to Toronto. He's been to New York. Last year, he went to. No, this year. It wasn't last year. This year, he went to Dubai, Florida, and Sweden before June. So I've got a son he loves traveling, but I think that may be coming to an end because he just bought another house. So that may be coming to it. Netflix is hilariously woke, quite possibly. I got fed up with being fed the same thing over and over again, which is why I stopped spending money. What I realized with streaming, and many of you may agree, and many of you might not agree with me on this, is that I ended up spending around £70 a month. I don't know what that is in American or Canadian, but £70 a month spending money on streaming services. And I found that after a while, I spent longer looking for something to watch than I did watching. And so in the end, I gave up. And instead of doing that, I ended up going back and buying DVDs and Blu-rays, because I can buy exactly what I want to watch and enjoy it and get to watch it over and over again. And so that's kind of the situation with that. So the streaming services don't really do much for me. And I've got to be honest, they don't do much for me, mainly probably because of the kinds of stuff I like to watch. Film-wise, I love old films, and I could never find enough on Netflix, for example, to keep me occupied. I don't like to knock Netflix because it's far more successful than I'll ever be. But it suits a lot of people I know. It doesn't me. And the other thing is, I come from a generation that liked to own records, CDs. I've got CDs here. I like my own physical media. I like to have them for myself. And it's the same with, I buy tons of DVDs. I've got loads of them, as we've said about this earlier, but I kind of like to own it. I don't like to rent. I think as the years have gone by, and as you get nearer now, my sons, for instance, they Spotify for music, they Netflix for films and all that sort of thing. And they don't collect in the way that I did. And I love having the CDs, I love having records and things like that. So I think it's because I come from a different generation. My wife and I talked about dropping my size. Do you know what? Box sets and movies. I have bought so many box sets of films, TV series, and everything that I absolutely love. For instance, The West Wing is possibly my favourite ever TV series. I watch it probably once a year, and I bought it when it first came out on DVD. So I kind of love watching that. I don't know whether I should admit to this. I love Ally McBeal. I bought the box set to that. And so I don't see the point in paying every single month to a channel and rewatching stuff that I watched before when I can already own it. And in this day and age, you can buy it so cheaply. CDs are as cheap as chips here. You can buy secondhand CDs for pennies. And so people tell me that the CDs are going out, but I watched a YouTube video yesterday where Coldplay's last album sold 100,000 copies. So they're not completely not selling anywhere. Physical media. I think that physical media is personally a better thing. I've loved it always. I've always bought. In fact, it's silly as it sounds, music-wise, and I am still buying records. I am still buying CDs. The fact is, though, I never play them once I've got them. I end up converting them to MP3s and putting them on hard drives and playing them for pure convenience from my hard drives. And so I've got, to my right, there's a big pile there of probably 60 or 70 CDs that I've bought in the last year or so that have only been played once, and they've been converted to MP3 and they sit on hard drives and I play them from there. But I still like to own it. And I still like to own records. I think records are being well overcharged for these days. They do spend a fortune from them. Convenient to stream when you have kids. Now, that may be the case, but look at this face. This face is too old to have small kids. No. So, yeah, I mean, it's only us to decide what we want, to be honest with you. So I can understand why streaming works for some people. Of course I can. It just doesn't work for me. It's not going to work for everybody. And that's the case with everything. But yeah, there's something about owning physical media. I was yesterday, with my DVDs, to cut down space, I put them all in little sleeves and I've got them in one big long box. And so I flick through them, and it reminds me, certain age for a certain age person now, when you used to go into a record shop and flick through LP covers. And I used to love all that. And I now do that with my DVDs as well, because I've got them in the sleeves. And so I'll flick through and pick one out. And I love that. And actually looking on Netflix and Prime and Paramount and all of the others that there are that I could look at, it doesn't feel the same. It doesn't feel the same experience. Probably in the same way that using a Kindle doesn't feel the same experience as using a book to me. So I hope that kind of helps with why I do the things that I do. Right, I'm just having a quick... Kiara, you watch Netflix and Prime, hopefully just for the duration of watching whatever show you're watching. Are there many people that do that, who pay for something while they watch it and then binge watch it and then stop with the streaming thing? I've not done that, I have to be honest. But even in your 30s, you prefer physical media. There is something about owning it yourself, isn't it? I always get the feeling that the more people want you to subscribe to something, you just end up keep paying and paying and paying and not actually owning anything. But I suppose it's sources for causes. Streaming's going to work for a lot of people because it still does. The only subscribers. Get that, Neil? I see a few of you do that. To be honest, I haven't even done that. The only reason I've still got Prime is because I use Amazon. I buy so much stuff from Amazon and pay for the Prime purely to save on the postage. And so Amazon Prime is a channel that I still have. We don't kind of watch a lot on it, though. Yes, Posh Bird, I agree with that totally. Physical media exists properly. It's I've been talking way too much, and I've kept you far too long. We're 1 hour, 23 minutes into this. Yeah, it's been great today. At 1 hour and 23 minutes, shall we call this a day? Not because excuse me. Not because I don't want to do any more of it, because this has been fun. And I've noticed that the longer this has gone on, the easier it's got to chat to people. The reason I spend probably on Amazon so much is that where I live, I'm in a village, probably 7 miles outside of Cambridge, which is our big town. The shops that we have near us, there is a supermarket, there is a Costa Coffee, a fish and chip shop, a pet shop, an estate agent, and those kind of shops. So there aren't many shops available to get things that I want. For me to go into the town to buy things that I need, take a lifetime. Parking is ridiculously dear in Cambridge. If you ever want to come to Cambridge, it's expensive to park, and so it stops us going into the town on a great thing. So Amazon works for us. I would much prefer to use little local shops, but there don't appear to be that many anymore. That seems to be coming down. And yeah, it would be nice if in this day and age we could go back to the days when there were more family-owned shops, if you like. I miss that. And so because there's only a certain amount of stuff that I can get here, and the cost of parking to go into town, it works out much cheaper in the long run for me to use Amazon. Buffering quality issue. I don't know, to be honest with you, Neil. It could be a problem. It could be a problem on my end. I don't know. I mean, I have my phone in front of me, which we use to do this, and my monitor's behind, and I can see the picture on the monitor, and it seems okay from here. But I'm not saying it's not me, because it could be. But thanks for telling me anyway, Neil. I'll have to have a look at that through the course of the week and see how we're doing. Yeah. So I would like, just let me know. I would like to do this Wednesday afternoon. I can, Wednesday afternoon seems to suit my time gaps to do a live stream. So if you would like me to make it a regular Wednesday thing, that would be fantastic. And I'd like doing that. If you've got any questions that you'd like me to answer for next week's one, then that would be great. I would like to have you either put it in here, because I should watch it back later and read all the messages, just in case I've missed bits. I know I have. But yeah, we could do this again. I'd happily do Wednesday afternoons if that suits you. And through the course of the week, feel free to message me, get in touch with anything you'd like me to talk about. And so it'd be nice that when we start this, I know what we can be talking about straight away. Although, like today, I would imagine we'll go like that and do a bit of winding away and talking about different things. Because, as you may have noticed, in real life, I can wander off track quite simply. It was nice to see you, Posh Bird. We'll see you again. Tadal, lovely to see you. Yep, Wednesday Waffle it is. And so we're going to try and do that. We're going to call it the Wednesday Waffle. We'll do this every week. I'll try and do it about 2 o'clock, and we'll take it from there. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a pleasure talking to you guys. I've really enjoyed it. It's nice to know that you guys can interact like this. I really like the immediacy of the live. I find it harder because I've normally got notes telling me what I'm going to talk about on a video. But it's great to chat to you. I'm sorry I haven't been able to speak to you individually through the course of that, but I can only do what I can do, and as you can see, I'm not the most organised. Oh, guys, thank you so much. I'll let you go, and I will now spend the next 10 minutes trying to work out how to turn this off, because last week it took me ages. I was banging my finger on the camera and trying to work it out. But yeah, if any of you missed any of the video, I had some questions asked during the course of the week. I answered them earlier on. So hopefully go back, enjoy yourselves, and I will see you next week. And don't forget, there'll be a video on Friday. If I get around to recording it, that is. I'll see you. Ta-da now.